Welcome back, guys. So let's see how we can dual boot Arch Linux with Windows, and it's gonna be a step-by-step method, so watch till the end. So first we will visit this website of Arch Linux, and it actually has a lot of servers, so you can actually download from a global server like I'm doing, or you can scroll down and look for your own country, and we will go with the 64-bit ISO. And just click and the download starts immediately, and the download speeds are also pretty good, so I did not need to use an external download manager. We're going to copy this ISO file into our Ventoy pen drive. So this is a bootable pen drive, and I've made it using the Ventoy tool, so I will put a link how to make it. Then we're going to search for partition, create partition, and open this program. So I've already have a 20 GB made, which shows unallocated. So you're going to shrink your D drive, and 20 GB 20,000 MB, and then you will have your unallocated. We will leave it like this, and we'll make everything after the installation process. So go to your BIOS menu. For me it's escape and F9. Then select the SRT, your USB drive, and then select Arch Linux. You will have all your ISO files listed, and then the first version, the Arch Linux UEFI. So the installation will begin, and you will have the terminal window open. So first we will check our Wi-Fi. So you can use, I'm already connected through Ethernet, so but you can use this command IWCTL to check for the Wi-Fi connection. So you can type in the device name and station device name scan, then station device name get networks. It will show your network. In my case it did not show my network, so I used the Ethernet cable. And then you can just type station device and connect, and enter your password to connect to the internet, and then just station device name show to check the connection of your network. And after that you can just quit to exit the IWCTL. And now you can use the ping command. So ping google.com-c3, so it will check the connection 3 times. You can use any link of your choice. After that we will set time and date. So time date CTL, set -NTP, and it will be true, so it will set the time and date. Now we will create partitions, so we can use the fdisk-l command, and then we will use the cfdisk dev and sda to check our partition. We will create, you can see at the last, you can see our unallocated 20 GB. So you're going to click on new and type in 512 M, capital M for MB. We'll hit enter, and I will choose the type as EFI system for the boot. Then create the rest of it will be the Linux, so we'll just click and type in yes, so it will automatically be Linux file system. Then we can type in the command fdisk to see if it has worked or not. Now we're going to delete the format the EFI system we created as 532. So mkfs.fat-f32 /dev/sda. The name of you have to check using the fdisk command, so I'm checking it which of my EFI system is. So according to that, type in the SDA number. Then we're going to format as root the remainder that we created, the 20 GB. So we will type in mkfs.xt4 dev and SDA for the SDA number that you have noted down. So now our root is complete. Now we need to mount those partitions that we formatted. So first we're going to mount our root. So mount dev the partition name SDA and the name of the partition, and then /mnt, and same goes for the boot mkdir and mnt boot. And after that we will mount the dev and the EFI partition number SDA and then mntn boot. So this way we have mounted both our root partition and the boot partition as well. You can check using the fdisk command if it has been successfully done or not. And you can see it shows the EFI system and the Linux file system. Or you can use the command lsblk as well to look for your system and EFI. Now we're going to install the base system, the Linux kernel and required packages. So we're going to use the packstrap, mnt base, Linux LTS, Linux firmware, util Linux, grub, and the EFI boot manager, the OS prover, Intel ucode. If you have the AMD CPU, you can use AMD ucode, and then network manager and also our nano text editor. So we will install all these packages using these commands. I will also link down all the commands in the description so you can see from that, or I'm posting the commands on the screen as well so you can follow with me. Now we're going to generate the fs tab. So we will use the command gen fs tab -u mnt and then 2 times greater than and then mnt etc and fs tab. It will generate our gen fs tab file. Now we will mount to actually go into the installation of the Arch Linux. We'll use the arch chr root and mnt. And now we are in the Arch installation. And now I'm going to use we will set up the time zone and language. So it will show all your time zone, this command, and you can find your continent and city, and then use the command time.ctl set time zone. So for me it is Asia and Calcutta, so I will use that. If you already know your time zone, you can search for as well on Google it and just type in your continent and city. It's not country and city, it's continent and city. Now we're going to use the HW clock to sync the time and date. So HW clock -systo HC. Now we're going to set up the locale so you will use nano and etc locale gen, and here you will choose for US, in my case English US UTF-8. It's for most of the users, so find this, and then we will remove the hashtag so it will be uncommented, and then we're going to Control O and Control X to exit. Then we will run this command locale -gen and it will generate the this gen code, and we will now set up the language. So you will use echo lang equals enus.utf-8 greater than etc local.conf. So it will like set up our language as the English US. Now you will export this language. So export lang equals English US en_us.utf-8. It will set your language. Later we can check this as well. We will now have to set the host name. So we will use echo space our host name. You can choose whatever your host name is. In my case I'm using Shakeuptech. Then greater than and /etc and host and your host name, and like again whatever host name you have chosen. And we will go to nano and etc hosts. So it will list down the host. In this case we have to create one. So using the downward arrow we will create our hosts. So 127.0.0.1. Then you're going to use the tab key and then type in localhost and enter the ::1, then tab, then localhost again. We'll enter and type in 127.0.0.1 or .1.1, whatever you can, and tab and write your host name that you have created. And we will just Ctrl O, enter, and Ctrl X to exit. We will set root password using PASSWD, then just retype your password again, and your password will be made for the root users. Now we will enable the network manager using systemctl enable network manager, and the N and M should be capital. Now we will set up the grub for the dual boot. Grub -install -target equals x86_64-EFI, then space -EFI -directory equals /boot, and then space --bootloader -id equals grub. So it's kind of a complex like command. You have to get it right, otherwise it won't run correctly. So running this command like will install the grub on our system, which we will use to dual boot. As it's generating, it has installed and no error reported. Now we will use the command the grub grub -mkconfig -o, then boot grub and grub.cfg. So it will generate an grub file. It will like show a report. It shows this error that the OS prober will not be executed. We'll fix this once we boot it into the Linux. I will show it to you later. Now we will create a user using the user add -m -g users -G space wheel -s/bin/bash. Then we're going to select a username. In my case it will be Shakeuptech, so you can use whatever username you want. After that we will run the command passwd and followed by username. Make sure you have password and followed by username. In my case I did not and I faced error. Then we are going to install the sudo. So pacman space -S and sudo, and we'll install the sudo. Now we need to go to this text editor using nano etc sudoers, and it will open up this, and we need to uncomment the line. You need to find %wheel all equal all, and just delete the hashtag and then Ctrl O to save it. Now we'll install the display server. So pacman -S xorg -server. it will install the needed the display drivers and servers as well. It is going to take some time, and after this we will install the pulse audio, the audio drivers. So we're going to type in pacman -S pulse audio, then again pulse audio -ALSA to install the audio drivers. Now we will install the desktop driver, the desktop environment. So I'm gonna install the GNOME. So sudo pacman -S GNOME. So you can also use KDE if you want, but in this case I'm going to use the GNOME. And it will take some time because it downloads, the download size is very heavy, so it will take a lot of time. Now we will enable the GDM service using the command system ctl enable gdm.service. It will enable the GNOME, the desktop environment. Also tried using the system ctl start GDM service, but it did not run. It actually automatically boots you into the login screen, but in my case I had to force restart and then using the grub boot manager and log in into the Arch Linux. In your case it might directly boot you into the login screen, but you can also just force shutdown and then using the BIOS go to the grub boot manager and select the Arch Linux. Then it will take some time and you will see this loading screen. You're going to just put in the password that you created, and it looks very good. This is the GNOME desktop with Arch Linux. So first of all you need to go to the terminal, and I've already installed it, but I'm going to show you. You have to install some packages the first time you boot into it. So type in su and then type in your password to log in into as a root user. And we will update the pacman packages using the pacman -S and Y. This is going to update the pacman packages. Then we're going to type pacman -S small y and u, and this will update all the packages. This will update the base, all the repositories and packages. Now we're going to install the GNOME extra pacman -S GNOME -extra. It installs extra files that we are actually are very helpful for the GNOME desktop environment. These are very useful, some programs and files. Now we will install the pacman -S GNOME tweaks to customize some of the interface. These two files are really necessary if you're using GNOME desktop. Now we're going to configure the grub using this command. We have run this command previously also. It was showing some kind of error for the OS prober. So use this command grub mkconfig -o etc grub.cfg, and for me it will not show the error. I've already fixed it. I'm going to show you how you can fix that it will show the Windows. So it should show this after it runs, like the summary. It should show that it has found the Windows boot manager, and here it shows that it has found the Windows boot manager. So if it does not show you, so this is how we can fix it. So we have to run a command called nano space etc default and grub. You can see the commands on screen, and this will open up a text editor. And this editor, if you scroll all the way down, you will see this grub disable OS prober equal to false. In your case, it will have a hashtag in front of it. We're going to remove it, and if this command is not present, we can also write this down and then Control O and to save it. This will force the OS prober to read the Windows boot manager, and it will show up in your dual boot menu. So you can use this to fix your dual boot issues. So you can see pressing the you have to press the Windows key to go to see the apps list, and this is the App Store, and it shows Flatpak. But when I first opened up the App Store, it did not show anything. So we have to install the Flatpak as well for this App Store to work. So we're going to go back to terminal, and we will use the command pacman -S Flatpak, and this will install the Flatpak repository on your system. Then you can access the apps from the App Store as well, and this repository is like pretty amazing. You have everything that you need, and it has been showcased very beautifully. It feels like on Pop OS, and you can see you have Audacity and Kdenlive and GNU, and it looks very good. You have the AutoCAD for your Linux and Flash Player. So it has this plethora of applications that you can download from the App Store using the Flatpak. You can see the Kdenlive. You can install it right from here and use to edit videos. So it was really good to see this App Store working pretty fine. And this is the web browser. It's Firefox. Obviously it's themed to look as Safari. You can see you have the minimize button, but it was not like there before. I'll show you how you can enable this minimize and maximize button. So we will go to and search for tweaks that we have installed, the GNOME tweaks. I cannot find it, so I'm going to search it through the search tab. I want to type in tweaks, and this is it. And when you open it, you will have some couple of options to change. You can change the theme. You can download themes from the ARC website, and change themes from here. You can also change fonts and the keyboard layout, the key configurations and all. You can change how the top bar looks. You can enable the battery percentage, the weekday and time and seconds as well. And this is where you can enable the minimize and maximize button. This is very helpful. Like I've gone used to it, so I need minimize and maximize. So you can enable it from this tweaks option. This is how the recents look, and all your application list. And this is the quick toggles. You have to use the Windows start button, and you can see I can set it to performance mode. And all these applications, it has, like, it was not pre-installed in the GNOME extra. All these extra applications has now been like installed on our system. And this is the file manager. We have a lot of extra apps. We have a sound recorder and image viewer, and these are all the utilities. You can see your disk storage and the resources monitor to see the performance and CPU, like you found in any other Linux. I've been like enjoying it a lot using the Arch Linux. You can install and uninstall whatever you want and set it as you wish, and it is working very flawlessly and smooth. I'm like really enjoying it. So you can use the Arch Linux yourself using all these commands and method, and try it. You have to try once, and you learn a lot while using all this command. It's a lengthy process, but I think it's worth it, and every Linux enthusiast should at least try once installing the Arch. Every other options are pretty similar to other Linux OS that we have seen. So I think that was it for this quick review and installation method, and I'll see you in the next one.